Okay, so today what we want to talk about is one of our physical properties that we have been talking about last week. So remember, we have been talking about matter, and we know that matter is anything that has mass and takes up space. Okay, matter is everywhere. Okay, the big thing that we were focusing on is how we describe our matter, and we describe it by this big word called physical properties. Okay, we want to focus today on one physical property that we know as the states of matter, or you might hear physical states of matter. Okay, so we're focusing on this one right here, physical state. Okay, and remember, every piece of matter is going to be one of three physical states, either solid, liquid, gas. Mirror. Physical state means either solid, liquid, gas. Okay, so what we're going to do is learn the difference between how the solid, the liquid, and gas look like on the inside, and then we're going to record a few notes. So the first one we want to talk about is a solid. Okay, so for example, this ping pong ball. Okay, this is a solid. Okay, no matter where I move it, it still looks the same. The shape's the same, the volume of it's the same. It's not changing. Okay, so the important thing about a solid is that the shape and volume always stay the same. So the shape and volume always stay the same. Mirror. A solid keeps the same shape and volume. Okay, so very good. So the reason why it keeps the same shape and volume is because the molecules inside of it, or the particles that are inside of it, are tightly packed together. Okay, so for example, this would be a model of how the molecules would look inside of a solid. So each one of these ping pong balls represents a particle inside of solid matter. Okay, so as you can see, they're very tightly packed together. There's not room for movement or anything. So when I move my solid from one place to another, that's why everything stays the same, because these molecules can't move. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to apply. Okay. So, do you see the molecules moving? No. Okay, the molecules didn't move anymore even when I applied the blow dryer to it. Therefore, this is a solid. It's always going to stay the same shape and volume. Okay? Okay, so our second state of matter is a liquid. Okay, and you're really familiar with liquids. You drink water, some maybe Gatorade, milk, orange juice. Okay, and you always put it in a cup. And what do you notice about that liquid when you put it in a cup? Okay, it's going to take the shape of whatever cup. If I have a round, a really big wide cup, or I have a really skinny cup, it's going to take whatever shape the container I pour it in. So for example, here's some water. Okay, and remember, what is this tool called? Good, a graduated cylinder, and I use a graduated cylinder to measure the volume of a liquid. So if I pour my water into here, let's see. Okay, so according to this, I have about 60 milliliters of water. Okay, so that's the volume of water that I have in here. Okay, but if I have a larger graduated cylinder and I pour my water in here, does the shape look the same? No. Okay, the shape looks a little different because it depends on the type of container I put it in. But it's the same amount of water in each container. Yes. So with a liquid, the volume stays the same. Okay, so this is still 60. No matter what container I pour it in, I still have 60 milliliters of water. But the shape of it changes. Like this one, I could put it in this really wide one. Okay? And the shape looks different, but the amount of water is the same. That's the volume. Okay, so with a liquid, the shape stays the same, but the volume changes from container to container because it takes the shape of whatever container I put it in. Mirror. A liquid keeps the same volume, but the shape takes the shape of the container. Okay, very good. Now, same thing with the molecules. So here's my representation of a liquid. Okay, what do you notice is a little bit different? Okay, so yeah, they move just a little bit more. So think about it. With a solid, okay, if I put my solid in this container, and then I put the solid in this container, did the shape or size change? No. So it's the same. But with my liquid, there's a little more movement, isn't there? Because when I pour it, it's going to take the shape of the container. Okay, so here, see if you can see this. Okay, oh. Okay, so there's a little bit more movement, isn't there? Okay, so there was a little bit more movement. Some of the particles can slide past each other, but they're still close, but with a little bit of movement. Okay, so that's how the molecules are in a liquid. Okay, so then our last state of matter is our crazy state of matter, and that is a gas. Okay, and a gas is, it breaks all the rules. So a gas does not keep the same shape. A gas does not keep the same volume. Okay, so if I have a balloon and I blow that balloon up, the air I'm putting in there is going to take the shape of the balloon, but then when I release the balloon, where's all the air going to go? Good, into the room. And all that air is going to spread out and take the shape of the air that's already there around us. Okay, so a gas, like we said, its shape can change and its volume can change. It never keeps the same shape and it never keeps the same volume. Gases are crazy and they just do their own thing. Mirror. A gas never keeps the same shape and never keeps the same volume. Okay, so those are our three states of matter. What we're going to do now is take a few notes in our journal. You should have brought home with you this foldable, just like this. It's yellow. Before I move over to the journal portion of the video, let's make sure we know how to fold this foldable. Okay, so I'm going to fold it on hot dog style on the thick line going down the middle. Okay, so it should look like this. Okay, then you see how I have the line here and then the line here. Okay, I'm simply going to now make sure, okay, I'm not cutting the back part. I'm just cutting the flaps right here. Okay, so I'll cut here and here. Okay, so when you get done, it should look like this. And then when you go to put it on your journal on page 19, it should fit in just like this. And in just a second, I'm going to pull up the journal portion of the video, and so you'll be able to see exactly what your page 19 should look like.